the ability to let our Indonesian members pay their electricity bill, water bill, and their tax also through our platform itself. The Indian community itself will be super happy. We are able to provide cash vouchers for Uber and also Big Bazaar. Big Bazaar is like 7-Eleven for them, but much bigger. So we're actively working on all of this to excite the Southeast Asian plus India market itself to push, propel our business in 3 years' time to reach 100 million customers, not members, but customers that is using Cloud SIM, okay? And our 1.5 million members to sign up 20 million merchants. So if we can hit our target in these 3 years, okay, that's what I say, we will become one of the largest ecosystem for wallet, okay, in the whole Southeast Asia. The biggest wallet ecosystem, 100 million SIM card subscribers is not a small figure. We're going to be one of the largest MVNO in Southeast Asia. Our target is to actually get 13 MVNO licenses around the Southeast Asian countries. We already got 3. 2, actually 1 is on the way. In Singapore, in Thailand, we already got our MVNO license, mobile virtual network operators. So we are like the Vodafone, or we're a network operator. So the third license for MVNO we are actively trying to get is in Malaysia, and we actually grow out into all these other countries as well. Now, once you are a mobile virtual network operator, what you can get is to get a very good local data pricing for that in-country itself, so that we can actually trade data and make a profit from that. So the company itself is moving or diversifying from just crypto trading into data selling. Okay, voice itself we will be doing, but not so actively. But we are moving much into data itself. One of the good things that we are doing is we are trying to get our act together to actually make it big in this telco field, so that we are one of the largest MVNO around. Now, why are we doing this? Okay, what is our motive and what is our idea to do this, and why we want to push forward to do all this, and why our members should actually support us to actually reach our goal. And if you all know that Apple recently has actually been doing this, right? First, they make an Apple phone that is good, and they have been selling it all around the world. They created a walled garden of App Store, whereby they force the owners of the phones to actually buy apps from them, and they launch Apple Pay onto it, so there can be an ecosystem within their own phones. Then they're actually launching a credit card, okay, that is based on, they're like a bank, right? So launching their own credit card. And what's the newest thing is all the latest phones, the iPhones, have this thing called the eSIM. So this eSIM is actually like a enhanced virtual SIM, which can virtually make Apple to become a operator as well. Now, if you were to follow what is going on around, Samsung is not doing anything like that. Samsung is trying to make more phones only. Huawei is not doing anything like that. None of the competitors, even Google, is not really doing anything like that. They are a good big payment provider with their Google Pay, but there are too many leaders in the Android field to actually to fight the Apple onslaught. Okay, so if we were to become that huge in Southeast Asia, okay, in 3 years, and Apple is to be successful in that drive, okay, we are looking at maybe an acquisition from Google, okay, or Samsung, Huawei. But in order to do that, we need to become very legal. So we need to split out what is not legal out into a third party, and to keep our wallet to be as legal as possible, so that every member itself can enjoy the end result. Okay, as I said many times before, regardless of the CTO price, okay, each CTO becomes one share in the company itself. Now, let's say if you hold a million CTOs in your wallet itself, and when we do really do a sale, and let's say, for example, our total circulation for CTOs is about, let's say, 50 million, right? For a fintech company plus telco company that is the largest or the second largest in the world, or in Southeast Asia itself, okay, our PE would not be less than 30, right? So it's 5, 10, 15, 30, 50 times. So yeah, that's what we are looking at, because there's no other businesses like us that is doing this. Okay, we are way ahead. We know that in next year, many countries will be launching out with their digital asset bill or the legislation. Digital banks are coming, and many countries will be enforcing a lot on digital assets, and projects itself which do not conform to the regulations, all will be in trouble. So we're doing it now. We are, no matter how difficult it is, we are pushing ahead with this to become as legal as possible, because what we want to do is to protect each of our members to be able to do this business in the most legal manner possible. Okay, what we are selling now is no longer a investment plan, but a travel data SIM plan. All right, which is the same as Jarvis. Okay, I put in a subscription for 500 USDT. If I were to get a friend to be interested, I give him my referral code. Okay, I will get 100% of more data. He'll get 50% data and things like that. So all of it will be the same as how Jarvis is, but instead of getting CTOs, you're getting data. And this data, you'll be able to use it on our SIM. The service center, the sales center that we are starting in each of these locations, okay, all of it will be selling our travel SIM products, our travel product, which Cloud Travel will be part of it, to help people do bookings of hotels and things like that. So these are the things that we are moving on to push forward to our goal. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, this the things that is going on. So to address the issues of the withdrawals and the conversions, the OTC will solve some of it. The credit cards, the MasterCards will solve some of it. The travel will solve some of it. The cloud SIMs will solve some of it. Our idea to actually clear up the backlog for withdrawals and conversions is to open up more channels for members to actually use it instead of just a pure conversion. So that's the strategy. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Awesome. First off, yeah, thank you. I was going to call you Godzilla, Ronald, for being on the call tonight. And I just want to say, I think the most important thing is that you're actually repping Canada hard with your Roots sweater there, sweatshirt. Thank you. That's probably from Alvin or from Angelo. So thank you for that. I'm wondering if you wear other countries' apparel. We got several Canadians on this call right now, so thank you.
Alvin's showing.
Yeah, and yeah, Alvin, thank you for getting Ronald on the call tonight. Now, can you answer a few questions, Ronald? Yeah. Oh, there he is. Where's mine? Now, can you stay for a few questions, Ronald?
Yeah, but I have to run in about 5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. So many exciting things from what you said. Travel, data, and SIM is where the company's heading. That's great. It's good to know. I've got Casey on the call here, who's put together this presentation, and we just know which way we're going to be taking what's next. One of the pressing questions right now is exactly we heard that it's going to be the crypto that's going to be put into the Jarvis 2.0 is going to be held for 1 to 3 months. We have some people saying 1 year. I just want to make sure from the horse's mouth it's going to be 1 to 3 months. Why? I have a reason. I think I know what the answer is. But in your words, why do you? Is it 1 to 3 months and not 1 year?
Okay. The subscription is about 1 year. So what happens after the 1 year? We just send you another contract which you need to sign. There's no other payments needed because your assets is still in there. Okay. For the withdrawal, okay, it's 1 to 3 months. It's because from past experiences that we have learned from our September incident, is that when there's a mass withdrawal itself, our system is not able to be to cope up with the capacity of it. So we actually want to stagger the withdrawals. Okay, it's not really 3 months. We just actually put everybody on queue. Okay, so that it does not affect the trading that we are using for the assets on our side itself, so that it doesn't disrupt what we are trying to do.
Okay, good. I just want to be sure. Another question we have here is. Do all new members have to buy Cloud SIM data pack? Does this also apply to existing members? How is it going to affect the transition from Cloud 2.0? From Cloud to Cloud 2.0? Is it affect everyone or all new members or new? Go ahead.
Okay. Technically, to be legal, every member needs to have the Cloud SIM. All right, but you don't need to because the thing is. Cloud SIM is there for you to use data. So if you join the plan itself, we're giving you more data. And you can transfer the data that you get from Jarvis 2 into Cloud SIM to use. Or you can take whatever data that you've accumulated, even though you don't have a SIM, okay, you can actually sell it or to transfer it to anyone that has a Cloud SIM card, okay, that doesn't want to join the program, okay, to be able to consume. So we've created we have partnered with a third party, OTC, to enable you guys to do that.
Okay, good. Okay, speaking of the data, we have a question here, and thank you again for taking all the hard questions. These are some pretty tough questions, but I've seen you do it before, so I'm not going to stop at that. Okay, here's a question on the net. If data is to be converted into or sold in the OTC, what's the guarantee that there will be buyers? For example, if 50,000 members decide to sell 50,000 gigabytes of data of each, who will be the buyers? Are they new people? Is it going to be the company? Who's that going to be?
It's a very good question there. Okay, so as I said, in our ecosystem, we are going to have plain consumers, non-affiliate, non-marketing, non-partners, right? Because of our plan that we are giving them. So it's actually a very simple, very cheap plan of 50 or maybe $10 for the SIM card or something like that, right? Where they get about 1 gig or something. So these plans are for those that do not want to. Okay, it's cheaper than any local data plan that is in Southeast Asia. You have to check that out. So our idea is to actually hit as many members as customers as possible. So these are the consumers, and the members itself that joins Jarvis 2 are the producers. So you produce data for the consumers to actually use it. So we do that conversion for you directly. That's how you actually get it. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, next question. And this involves the MasterCard. I know some people wanted to get the MasterCard. How can they apply for it? You said you're going to send some form in the email. Who qualifies for it? Is it C1s and above, or is everyone going to get a MasterCard? And when do you turn it on? So if you can answer.
Yeah, every C0, C1, C2, C3, C4 can actually apply for it now. The app itself will be enabled for you to actually apply for it. Okay. Yeah, that's the case now. You just need 200 CPOs to apply for it. But the limitations or the maximum that you can use for the card itself depends on the level that you are in. For example, C0s, probably you only have a 250 limit per day. For C1, C2, C3s, you have a higher limit. The card itself has a max limit of 13,000.
Okay, and can this card be used at, I guess, any ATM, any merchant?
Any ATM, any merchants that actually supports MasterCard. Yeah.
Okay, and do you have a system whereby you can use the CTOs and transfer it within the card and change that into fiat to pay for items, or is it solely based on whatever fiats in the credit card?
You use CTOs itself to actually enable the quota or the limit in the card. The card itself is already pre-funded. So what you do is you put CTOs to collateralize the card. We can't say that you can convert. That's not quite accepted by MasterCard. So you can only collateralize it with me. I will take your CTOs and I'm giving you this. All right. You can always, redeem back your CTOs by giving us fiat.
Okay. Sorry, I just want to go back on the data question. Somebody's a question on data. How do we get the data SIM? How do we get this data SIM to the external customer? Is it through digital code? Are we going to mail the SIM card? And will it be in Asia? Will it be cheaper than the local providers? What about North America? I guess maybe the price of the SIM card is what the question is. But how do we get it out there?
The price itself, right? We have two types of SIMs. We have the global SIM and we have the Asian SIM. It's a very good question, actually. This is not being asked often, and kudos to the person who asked this. Every country itself has different pricing in the data that is being provided. But we all know that data in country itself is actually free for the operators. What they are paying is only a sunken cost for their infrastructure. For example, they were to rent the cell towers to actually send all this data. So what we do in Cloud 2.0 for Jarvis 2.0 is we actually created a platform to aggregate all of this data into a single platform. It's like we take okay, let's imagine this, right? I'm trying to figure out a way to explain to you. Let's say if you have, let's say Sprint or AT&T data, which is selling at probably, let's say 10 cents per gig or something, 10 cents per meg or something like that. All right. But Sprint itself might be selling at 8 cents, or the others might be selling at some other pricing. Okay, Verizon might be selling at some other price. Okay, when we actually put it into our this container, okay, we actually will ease out the pricing. Okay, we will actually get a standard pricing. Okay, for all this data. Now, that is to the user itself. Okay, how much it costs? Probably the average between A, B, and C is actually D. So D is the price that we give to the user. But internally itself, okay, when you use the data, when you do a roaming, we have to actually pay for all this. So what we do is we actually sell the data to other operators. For example, there are travelers from US going to Europe, Europe going to Asia. Internally itself, we do that sale in order to make up the price loss. It's a bit complex, but our system is able to do that in order to create a good profit. The profit yield is about 13 to 17% per month to month, which is super good. And if there are members actually traveling to, let's say, from US to India or from Europe to India itself, our earning rate will increase from that to about 28%. The reason so is because India data is super expensive. So we can actually sell vice versa. We can trade that. That's how we actually do it for this. So there's two types of SIMs available: a global SIM, which is covering Europe and US, Latin America. The Asia SIMs is Australia, the whole Southeast Asia, plus India. So only these two SIMs available. The reason why we cannot join these two SIMs together is because the European price, the US price is low, but the Asia SIM cards are actually quite expensive, more expensive. Okay, so basically, these two, when you add together itself, it will create a stable price, which is a bit too high for everyone to accept. Okay, what we want to do now is to actually make our pricing for the per gigabyte pricing to be compatible with whatever the local providers are providing. So basically, that's what we are aiming for. In US itself, it's very difficult to use the SIM. It's because most of the cards, most of the phones are SIM locked, unless it's not SIM locked. Or you can actually, this is a travel SIM itself. You're able to use it in your SIM too, if you probably have, or you can just get a local Asian phone, or get phones that is unlocked. Okay, and you can start to use this. Well, you only need to pay once, as I say, into Jarvis, and then you're going to start funding the SIM, the cloud SIM with your data. So you virtually don't need to pay for your data anymore, which is kind of cool. So we believe that it's quite interesting this way, especially when you're traveling. You do not need to turn on the roaming. You can just move around. Okay. So yeah, our SIM card itself is not locked to any operators. Okay, it's operator free, which means that not like some of the SIM cards itself, they actually get it from, let's say, Vodafone, right? If Vodafone pricings change, they will have to be locked down to that particular price that Vodafone gives them. But for us itself, we're able to choose from the cheapest provider, and we can through over the air profile to actually update the SIM card itself to say that we have switched providers and we get the cheapest data pricing. So that's what we are able to do as well. Now, for the SIM distribution, okay, this is the most difficult one. What we're going to do is we're going to do two things. First, in order to sell the SIM card locally, we need to have a local presence. So we are working out with the leaders to actually come up with a local presence, which is a sales service center and a customer service center to distribute these SIMs there. But the second thing that we're doing is actually we are working on our eSIM technology itself, which means that you don't even need to have physical SIM. We'll just send you a QR code. You scan the QR code, and you will have our service. Okay, so this is the two things that we are actually working on. So this is the more details into the data part about what we are doing. Data is another way for the company itself to get more revenue. Okay, but instead of giving revenue directly back to the members, we give data back to the members, which the members can then sell. All right, we will facilitate this sale through the OTC itself. As I say, there are people that needs it. It's because we have normal consumers that actually gets the card from Asia itself. They need data, So they buy the data from the producers, which is all the Jarvis 2 producers.
Okay, good. No, I promise. Three more questions. I know you're. Thank you again for your time. A lot of interest here on the data to CTO. So the CTO can be held in the Jarvis too, correct? That's the understanding. So if all members decide to convert to CTO, what cryptocurrency will the company use to trade in Binance?
Okay, there's two things here, right? Okay, you join the plan using normal coin, Ethereum, or whatever. So that is the same kind of major cryptos that we'll be trading in Binance, or we don't really trade in Binance anymore. So it's actually Huobi and the rest. I shouldn't be saying it, but we're trading at other exchanges. The trading part of the portion of what we have now is only 30% of our total revenue stream. Another 30% is actually through lending networks that we are actually putting on, like Celsius, Compound, Nexus, and many, many more. Okay, because of exchanges now implementing a lot of the leveraging features, margins, a lot of them need a lot of liquidity for cryptos. And we're actually joining these networks to actually get a stable profit. So at the current stage itself, per year, per annum, we're getting about 24%. So that it's about 20 to 24%. On a very bad day, it's about 17% per annum. Okay, so we're talking about 1+%, 1.5% a month or so. So that is a stable income to actually come here. Okay, now we are actually on OTC to sell the cryptos. This is not an exchange; it's an OTC, peer-to-peer OTC. No difference than Ramitano, Luno, or the rest, whereby you go up there, you put in an order. I'm going to sell 5,000 CTOs. I want it to be in my bank account. This is my bank account number. Okay, and your 5,000 CTOs gets locked in. Okay, with the platform. When somebody comes in and says, okay, I want to buy 5,000 CTOs for whatever reason, okay, they will actually contact you, and both of you will actually communicate using our cloud chat system. Okay, and when the money or the transfer has been done towards the seller itself will then release the CTOs to the buyer. Now, there are many. We believe that there will be many people actually selling because of all the spike locks, right? They're all people selling. So what happens is the company itself, okay, will take whatever profit that we had for that day itself. For example, the company has made, let's say, $1 million in profit for that thing. Based on situation, we will see how much of profit we'll take out to actually buy from the OTC itself. We cannot be saying as a company to buy because it is third party. It will be some accounts that actually buying from the OTC itself. Okay, let's say we take 60% of whatever we have. We'll buy from the lowest to the highest. Okay, the lowest price to the highest price. So, for example, there's 1,000 of set our orders. Okay, and the price of the CTOs they are selling. Okay, let's say it's from let's say 45 cents to let's say 51 cents, for example. The company will actually go for the lowest, 45 cents to buy, and all the way up until the set the amount that we have is completed. So that's what we will be doing. Yeah, so that's the I think hopefully answer some of these questions itself. Okay.
This sounds.
Yeah, okay. Who will be buying all these sort of things? Actually, who will be using it? Yeah, those CTOs can be used for many things. For those that is not really in a hurry, they can use the ATM cards. All right. So you can have C0s which don't really earn a lot of CTOs. You can actually buy the CTOs to top up into the card, and you can actually withdraw, right? So yeah, that can be one of the ways. Why would they want to use these cards? These cards are easy to use around the world, so you do not need any credit scores or anything.
Okay, thank you. Last question, promise. Probably the hardest question here. Okay, so regarding the hodling process, because that's what we bought into from the very beginning. Love the system. We've got people who want to put in $20,000, $50,000 still and get CTOs. The question is here is how long will the withdrawal process be from Jarvis after this next upgrade's done?
It will be nearly the same. Won't be like how now it is. Okay. Once we clear the conversion issues itself, okay, the withdrawal process would be much smoother. The reason why we're having this issue is, in the beginning days, whereby we do not even give out any private keys, right? You still remember those days? It was fast, right?
Yeah.
And when we start giving out the private keys, it was okay for a while, and then suddenly it became slower and slower and slower and slower, right? You know what happened. So what happened was there are very smart competitors that actually took the private keys, imported into really shitty wallets that enabled them to meddle with the gas fees. So let's say I put in 10 Ethereums, they will withdraw 1,000 times, and they will put 0 to very little gas fees to jam up the nodes. So the nodes are jammed. Wow. Because all of these transactions go into the memory pool, as we all know. And the memory pool is sorted by the gas fees. And if the gas fee is so low than the market gas fee, these transactions will all be held in pending. They will always be pending. And when there are a lot of it, the nodes itself will be frozen because it ran out of memory. The memory pool can be more than 2 megs or something like that. We have 20 of these nodes. And every time we get jammed. So what happened is we need to actually manually go into the nodes itself, increase the gas fee, which is to speed up the transaction and to let it go through. So we're doing that manually.
So doing everything manually. So do what we've been doing. Just send you the information.
Yeah, basically that's the reason why it's been jammed until like this today. So the only way we can actually do it is, sorry, can you hear me?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. You're back.
I had a call there. So basically, in order to solve this issue, is we need to actually push out the conversions into all the other channels, so that the private key is no longer in use for conversion, so it doesn't need to jam up that particular nodes. We will refresh all these nodes into the actual process, but before we do that, we'll tell all the members to move out your crypto assets, okay? Because we're going to wipe all this, okay? So once this is done, okay, we can then fix the withdrawals. Okay, so this is our method of solving it in a staged manner. We want to solve this problem. We're not going to just let it go like that. Okay, so yeah, we're doing all we can in order to do this. And if we get to solve this problem, then the withdrawals will still be fast. So you can just withdraw, but instead of immediately withdrawing itself, we will now schedule it with the trading, right? So that the trading can complete before the asset will go out.
Okay. Well, there you have it. I'm sure we've got many more questions. We can do this all night, but thank you very much for your time, Ronald, for being in the hot seat. We do have some people that want to reach you. If they have any questions, what's the best way to reach you? Is it through Facebook? Is it through the Cloud 2.0 chat to reach your team? Is it through the upline? Is it through the C4s?
If not, go through the leaders to actually get a hold of me. Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
That last answer was great.
Sorry for this. So reach me on Cloud Chat. I will not be very active on Facebook. So yeah, Cloud Chat is one of the ways to reach me, or you can reach me through the leaders to get a hold of me. All right. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ronald. Have a great day. And yeah, thanks again. Go Roots. Okay. Well, folks, there you have it. I'm sure there's a lot more questions, more a bevy of questions arose from that. We know that the company's moving forward, a lot of their initiatives. We've got a lot of travel, a lot of data, a lot of sim. November 17th, once again, you want to circle that on your calendars. Many things going down there. Reach out to if you still have questions, please reach out to your leaders. Put them on chat. Remember, this is not a bitch fest or anything like that. None of that at all. This is more of let's find out what we can do to help our teams move forward with all the initiatives, all the new things. I still believe that there's a working model going on here. That's what we love about it. We're still super excited about that. And I think a lot of answers. Yeah.
Let's just, so I just want to jump in here real quick and make sure everyone has clarity on, hold on a second here. I want to make sure everyone has clarity on actually what's going on. So first of all, I've been in the industry 30 years. I have yet to see a CEO jump on a call and talk about a vision on a series of problems he's solving in real time and sharing that content with you. Most companies are not transparent. They're not telling you their strategies. They're not telling you that the competitors came in and strategically jam the entire cloud system because we're kicking ass across the world because we're the real deal. I don't think a lot of you even caught how dynamic what he's sharing is. And then when I looked at it, I'm sitting there listening to all of it. Think about the way he's problem solving everything. And unlike any other CEO who's ever run a company, who's usually a marketing genius or a leadership boss, this guy is a coder. He's going in saying, this is the way we're going to solve the problem. This is what we're doing. These are the resources we're applying to it. This is what we're trying to achieve. We're asking him to tell us everything that they're doing in the back office while they're yet still building it. He's on the bike while he's building the bicycle. Like this is the kind of genius level this guy's playing at. Sometimes we all sit out here just wondering how our $1,000 is paying us back, or how our little bit of money is reward us, because we become very eye-centric about what it's all about for me. But in the global scheme, there's 1 million people who have their money on the line in their wallets, trying to see and believe and understand. Because for many people, they're not privy to the inner workings of blockchain and the sophistication of the telecommunications industry, which he's just launched into. I mean, there's some beautiful things that were shared tonight. So I just want to make sure that, yes, all your questions were answered. I'm shocked he even came on the call. I want to thank Elvin, the man, Elvin, man, you made a phone call and got that guy on. And I think we need to honor Elvin because he's one of our key leaders here in Canada. And Elvin, I'd love you to say something, buddy, because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't even got him on, and we would never seen his Roots shirt. So you're on, buddy. Elvin, are you there? I just want you, if you get a chance to say something, buddy. I got you.
Elvin. What's up, brother?
Yeah. Okay. I put you up there, buddy, just because I think people need to know from that you know this guy. You're the one who got him on that call.
Sorry, you're choppy there, Casey. I heard you call me out, but I'm just wondering, what was your direct question?
I just want you to share a little bit of how much confidence you have and where he's really brought it to.
How much confidence? I think the best way to show that would maybe show you my wallet and how many CTOs I'm holding. But
yeah, so without having to do that, how much confidence you have in Ronald, because you're in constant communication with him, and he's sharing a lot more with you than the average beginner.
Actually, he actually isn't sharing a lot more with me than what I'm putting forward and what others are putting forward, and that's. I think the challenge is that we're having is interpreting a lot of the things that he's saying, what's coming, and then getting a clear picture of what everything's going to look like in terms of the features and the new products and services that he shared with us. And I've tried to sort of convey the message that might be best in some cases just to wait and see what the OTC will look like, and then make a decision on how you want to manage moving forward, whether you want to cancel your pending transactions now and just wait. But I think once he does launch that OTC and people start to realize that, yeah, this company is determined to continue on its path and they're not going anywhere, the intention is there to make this a long-term sustainable company based on what they're doing, then I think people will start to realize, hey, you know what, maybe I should cancel that transaction altogether, because a lot of people are obviously in a position where they may be panicking and they're not sure and they're uncertain, and because of that, they're sort of prone to listening to a lot of the FUD that's out there. And so I think once he rolls out the OTC, that's going to be a big day, and I think people will start to realize that there's no need to panic. Obviously, there's reason to be concerned and to be worried, but like a lot of the leaders who have been here from the beginning, we believe in Ronald. The company is one thing, but we do believe in Ronald from the very beginning, and he is a big part of the reason why we chose to participate in this program. And so for me, I'm hodling cloud tokens. I'm all in. I'm still all in. And a lot of people talk about how they're all in and they're still with cloud, yet they're jumping on board every other program out there. So I tell people that when I say I'm all in, I release all the dinghies, I throw out all the life jackets, and I'm going to be here right until Ronald says, you know what, this project didn't work, and we're going to have to, find another way to solve the solution. So that's me. But like I said, I'm a little different. I've been here from the beginning, and I was sold on his vision and what he's trying to do. So I'm very different from most and that includes a lot of the leaders who have been fortunate to make a lot of income in the last 6 to 7 months. And I'm sure you guys can all figure out who's still keeping the faith and who's sort of let's just say not keeping the faith as strongly. But I hope that answers your question. But Angela and I are still here, just like Ronald. We're still here supporting the teams that are still moving forward. We have Tony DeVoe, who just did an event in the Philippines, and he's all in too. So those are the people Absolutely. That we're choosing to work with and we're choosing to support. And then for those who have decided to, take the holding pattern or sort of wait and see what happens, we fully understand that and we support those as well. So, like I said, we're trying to be patient. And, I think most people understand that. And if they have been paying attention to the updates and taking the time to watch the videos and read the messages that we're providing, then I think most people understand. I think it's the people who hear bits and pieces and don't take the time to really dive into the messages that we've shared and the videos we've shared that are the ones that are sort of clueless and don't really know what's going on. And so I encourage everyone just to watch the videos, watch the updates, get a better sense of what Ronald's trying to do, and then hopefully that'll allow you to have a little bit more patience and give the guy the opportunity to deliver on the promises that he's made.
Alvin, we've seen the consistency when he says, I'm going to do this, and he says, I'm going to have it by this date. We've seen a track record now. He's been doing it over and over and over. He triple over-delivered in Malaysia, like over-delivered. And I stood there at the back. I'm like, he launched an entire WhatsApp, like as a back-end product. He launched an entire travel industry. One of the largest industries in the world is travel. And he launched it on an app. Like sometimes we're forgetting, like this thing is a monster and it's coming at us full speed. And the fact that he's delivering it, he's putting it on the system, and he's dealing with challenge after challenge after challenge. You have no idea how many competitors want to take him down. He is the Godzilla. You know what it means. If that guy continues to succeed, he embarrasses a plethora of other Bitcoin companies and offers and other scammers that are out there. He's embarrassing them. They're pointing their guns at him because they realize this guy's got the real deal, and they're not in the know. They're like, we don't have this technology. How's this guy beating us every time? So, I'm with you, Alvin. I think that I speak with CN, and I appreciate it. I know there's some great guys on here as well that are all saying things. King DeVoe, I've watched your video, buddy. You're awesome as well. But it's like we need to remind ourselves that we're standing in the cusp of something that could go to 100 million people. Think about this. These guys put out 1 million people in like 7-8 months. Come on, I'm a consultant to network marketing companies all over the world. I top the top 50 MLMs in the world. I'm a world-class consultant. I'm the top network marketer in Canada. I'm telling you, you're in the right place, the right time, right deal. Is it on shaky ground? Yeah, it's going through he said, we've got this problem. We're not compliant here. We need a new solution over here. I mean, this is brilliance in the making. The Steve Jobs of Asia on our team, 4th generation blockchain. I'm all in, man. I don't get it.
I'm all in with you. We all in. Let's go.
Save me, my friend. Save me.
Everyone's saying, yeah, we're all in. Now, what we're going to do, since we've got your attention, we're going to get the recording of this, and we're going to break down all the points, because there are a lot of points that Ronald mentioned tonight. Many good points, many solutions, many upgrades to what's happening. We have a training every Wednesday night. So tomorrow we're going to go over a lot of the points that hit home, a lot of things that people wanted to talk about, go through the recording again and get that information up for tomorrow. So the link that you guys use for tonight is going to be the same link for tomorrow, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. If you don't have the information, get back to the person who invited you to this call. If it was myself, otherwise we'll get that email out to you. If you don't have the information for it, send me a text and I'll send you the link for tomorrow's call. And basically that's what we're gonna do, Case? Just go over all the information that was said. Many things were said tonight, and we just go over it and break it down.
Break it down. We also know that there were some other videos that have been posting as well. I know there were some, like a lot of layer or over, like what something was said in one video and that's already been said. We'll do our best to continue to contain that data, put it into a succinct fashion so that you can capture it and say, oh, I can see the trail of where we're going. Listen, he's dropping breadcrumbs, trying to get the masses to come with us. That's what, if you all heard what he's saying, it's like, if we can get everybody to use a cloud SIM card, then we can drive this to incredible levels. And don't forget that the cloud token's value, as it continues to acquire customer base and it continues to obviously produce the great results it's doing, you're all sitting in an incredibly favorable position. Don't sometimes get caught up on the 5% and the 6% in returns. There's a compound, there's opportunities for using the products. There's some beautiful things here. So just make sure you see it. I see Chris Arena there too. How is the Philippines, my friend?
Very, very well. It's a beautiful, sunshiny, or should I say, cloudy day.
That's a nice shirt you got.
Again, gentlemen, on another great discussion today with our Commander-in-Chief.
Yes, for sure. Thank you, buddy. Just wanted to turn you on there. Sian, I think that's good. Thank you to everybody. We're so grateful, and we're jacked. We're really committed here.
Yeah.
Well, the Virgin Islands is all in. We're not going to be left out. The Virgin Islands is all in.
Who else is all in? Everyone's all in.
I am Alberta.
Philippines is all in. Awesome. Okay, guys. So
we'll all in. Kitimat, BC.
Not here, all in. Fiji Island.
He's in the Fijis.
All in.
The whole AI Global Legends is all in.
Thailand is all in too.
Represent.
CTO for life.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Risha's all in.
All right.
California, all in.
Yeah, all in for Mauritius.
Wow.
Right on.
Guys.
Right on. Okay. So, guys, we'll see you tomorrow night. See you tomorrow night. If you don't have that link, get it from the person who invited you on this call. And we'll see you tomorrow. Breakdown that was what was said tonight. A lot of things were said. Appreciate all of you. Thank you for coming out and staying to the very end, all of you. And we'll see you tomorrow night. Good night, guys. God bless. Peace and love. And we'll see you again. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good afternoon.